Happy Thanksgiving. How are you? Let's see who's on. Okay, that bark is a little much, don't you think? Yeah, just a little tiny bark to say hello, that's all. We're not being mean. We're just being happy little dogs. Yes. Happy, happy little dogs. Good morning to everyone. Good morning to Gloria and Leslie. What do you think of this rain, Leslie? It should be snow. Loretta, of course. Constance, nice to see you, Constance. Sherry. Who else did I see? I know I saw Leslie because I wanted to ask her about the rain. Yeah, I think you can read the chat. It depends on. Oh, there's Barbara. Hi, Barbara. Let me just say hi. How are you today? There's Jamie and Louise. And who else? Ardeen. How are you, Ardeen? Let's see. Leslie, Vicky. This rain is crazy. I wish it was snow. I always thought that we just got all the rain here because we're on the coast. Good. I'm so glad to see you all. And who else? Diane. Hi. Good morning. So it's the day before Thanksgiving. I still haven't finished my turkeys. Oh man. And I was going to deliver them today, but then I ended up with all this last minute stuff. So I don't know. And I also need to get ready because I got a message from my friend Wendy down in Peabody Square at Create and Escape, and she's actually creating a whole class for me called Ornament Making with Mrs. Claus. I thought I was just going to do the Mrs. Claus, go in and say hi and everything, but apparently we're going to be making ornaments from 10 to 1. And maybe we'll take a video and drop it off here on YouTube so you can see what we're doing. So that's Saturday morning in Peabody Square. If you're local, you're welcome to come by and say hi. It's our holiday stroll. And we'll be doing everything at all the major public buildings, including PBD TV. No more. You've already had your fill today, okay? No more. PBD Library, PBD Institute Library, the main branch of the fire department downtown at City Hall, and then we'll have the tree lighting, and it's going to be so much fun. I don't think I'm going to make it the whole day because a lot of it's outside. So I'll be doing my Mrs. Claus and then popping in a couple other places just to say hi to all my friends. No fire department this year because Owen's too big for the Sparky costume. So, or he's maybe in his head, he's too big for the Sparky costume. But anyway, I hope you all have a lovely holiday. However way you spend it. Tomorrow I'm spending it with my family here at my house. Only other people are doing the cooking, which is kind of nice. I've never had that happen in 25 years, so I'm pretty excited about it. So we are going full swing into the winter and Christmas and Hanukkah and what else is there? Festival of Lights. And there's also the solstice. And we're going to celebrate all of them no matter what. Even if you just like the season, we're going to be celebrating all of that with crafts and mostly cards, but also crafts and fun things like banners. We are on Friday because most everybody has Friday off. Sad to say, not everybody does. Hey, you, I said no more. Sorry, I got Benji down here begging me for treats as if he hasn't eaten for days on end, but he just likes treats. Anyway, because most everybody has the day off on Friday, and we're looking for alternative things to do than shopping, which is what most people do on Friday. We're going to be making a beautiful 3D winter village from Dreaming Tree, if I can find it. I don't know if I can, it's not here. 3D SVG. It's called the Winter Cottage. And we are going to Winter Cottage. There it is. It costs $3.29. They may have a sale going on, I don't know, for Black Friday. So keep an eye out and see what they got. But also, I wanted to point out that our friends Mary over at SVG Cuts is having a huge sale with 50% off. Up to, I guess, up to 50% off, it looks like. So if you spend $100, you get 50% off. So you'll pay $50. If you spend $50, you'll get 40% off, which in my head, what's the math on that? $20 off. So you get $50 worth of stuff for $30. And then there's a 30% off on anything up to 50%. And there are a couple things in here that I want to attempt to do this year. I have shown you how to do this beautiful heirloom Christmas tree, which is $7.99. If you want to see that again, I'm certainly able to show you that. I was also looking at this nutcracker because I did buy it, and there are a number of different different box cards as well that you could purchase. There's a church. She has a church, although I kind of prefer the the Dreaming Tree Church over her church. Her church is a little more fragile. Anyway, so here we go. We're going to work today on this really cute 3D it's called a box card. We've done box cards before. And yes, I heard you guys making fun of me about the envelopes. And this is what I mean. So then I will start doing silly things like this, cutting out little shapes and putting them on there for the to and from when I do envelopes. So, I get a little over the top with it. So sometimes it's better to use a paper envelope. That's pre-made, which you can certainly buy, or you can make them. A lot of these projects come with envelopes. So we're going to be making this. It's called a box card, and this one is actually in Design Space. I'm going to show you where you can find it. There is a fee for this. Not everything in Design Space is free, as you might know. A lot of the design, like what do you call it, the license material, like Disney, etc., you would pay an extra fee for, because those companies are very, very specific about what you can and can't do with their images. And this one happens to be, I don't know why it never got switched to Design Space as part of the Design Space, but it was designed. There's a whole group of them designed by Lori Whitlock. And if you've never seen Lori Whitlock's stuff, oh, you haven't done it? You bought it a while ago? Yeah, that's the same thing with me. So it's like you're getting it for free. So anyway, Lori Whitlock is just really an awesome designer. She has her own website. She generally does, I'm going to show you, she generally does files for another cutting machine called a Silhouette. But you can buy her designs also at her site, which is shop.lorywhitlock. And and it's WHITLOCK.com. So it's shop.lorywhitlock. Now, she also at Christmas time does a big sale like for Black Friday. So keep on a lookout tomorrow if you happen to be, jumping on in between the courses or whatever, between pie or whatever, you'll see that she'll probably post a sale, and it's usually fairly generous. I don't want to quote something that I don't know for sure, but her items are pretty inexpensive, and she's really known for her box cards, but she also does all kinds of things, including all these, envelope cards and just all the different ways you can do box cards, whatever. So a while ago, um, you could buy, remember cartridges, or some of you might not, but you could buy these images, but they were on cartridges, and you put them into your machine, and you could use them on your computer. But it was sort of an evolution before computers were part, and before Design Space was a thing. You would cut right from your machine using these cartridges. And at that time, when they were moving over to Design Space being online, they transferred a lot of these cartridges to being designs in Design Space. And they changed the name of cartridge to image set. And this is one that is from an image set. I'm just going to save this, called All Occasion Box Cards. Now I saved it, and now I'm going to have to save it again. So I just want to go ahead and go to images. And by the way, if you were thinking, well, I could just buy this image when the Laurie Whitlock thing is on sale, it doesn't work that way between Design Space and individual designers. So I don't even know if you can find this particular image. So I'll show you that in a second, okay? All right, so let's see, we'll go to images, and we're going to go to image sets. Remember, image sets used to be called cartridges. So we're going to go there to image sets, and you're going to type in, the image set is called All Occasion box cards. So you could type in box, but you're going to get image sets that have the word box in it, right? So you can type in occasion, and if you know how to spell it, which I thought I did. Okay, it's 2 C's, 1 S, All Occasion Box Cards. So there are only 3 here. And by the way, this is a really nice set if you want to do place cards for your holiday table. And there's a pumpkin, and there is a turkey. So if you're having a holiday feast tomorrow, you need something really quick. There's a great image set for you. Okay, so you'll see here down the bottom, All Occasion Box Cards. It does not have the A. The A means that if you are part of Cricut Access, which is a voluntary subscription that you can sign up for either monthly or yearly, anything with the A is free to use while you are a subscriber. Okay, but you'll notice it's not here. So there will be a cost. I think you, as a grouping, you maybe pay like a little under $20. If you think that you're going to use a lot of these, then buy the whole thing. But if you are just going to use one, just buy this one. So this is the one that we're doing today. It's called Snowflake's Basket Box Card. So it says it's $1.79, and you would be charged like inside before you went to cut it. So you can this morning play with this, and you can do all the changes that I'm going to show you. And as long as you never cut it out, you won't have to pay for it. So if it's something like, okay, Rita, I'll go along with you and do this, and we'll make these changes and blah, blah, blah. And then you're like, I'll cut it in the future. Well, when you come back to it, you will have to pay for it, but you only pay for it once, and then you can cut out as many as you like. Okay. So just keep that in mind. So we're going to hit add to canvas. Now, we also have our old thing here. I'm just going to hide that. and you can see what you get. Now this is rather small, and I need to tell you how to resize it, because if you cut this at this size, you run a chance of being very, very frustrated, because these snowflakes are very delicate, a lot of very intricate cutting. So I would definitely suggest resizing. Now, my way of resizing might be different than other people, but here's what I do. I go up here to the ungroup side, and I just hit ungroup, okay? Now, once I do that, all of these pieces are moving independently, you see? And then what we're going to do is grab them all, and we're going to hit up here to align. Okay, we're going to do a line left. I usually do center, but we're going to do a line left. And the reason why we're going to do a line left is that we can only, if we're just using regular 12 by 12 paper, we can only go a maximum of 11.5 as a width. So I'm looking at this, and this is our widest piece. See, that's not as wide. And even this is not as wide, okay? So we want to go no more than 11.5 inches in our widest piece. So then what we do, again, we do a line. You can either do left or you can do a line right, but you want to be on that horizontal, okay, to make sure you're sizing this right. So we're doing this. This is a line right. I'm going to group it, because I want all my pieces to size together so that they're all proportionate, okay? Now come up here to size, all right? And you'll notice that the width, which is what we're talking about, the width is the largest piece. It's at 8.9. Now you can just go ahead and use that up arrow and switch it. Don't mind the height, okay? And just go in there and just use that up arrow. Or you can select the number and type in 11.5. Now this is resized perfectly. We're going to ungroup it so that every piece will cut individually on a 12 by 12 sheet. And actually, in some cases, might cut on an 8.5 by 11. This piece will not cut on 8.5 by 11 because it's 11.5 inches. So you could cut this out this way, but I like my way of it. So what I did was I did some special things. First, I thought it needed a little, like a saying or a little greeting on there, because there's no place on here to really sign it. So, so I thought, welcome winter is fun, or, you know, happy winter, happy solstice, whatever you'd like. I also want to change it so that these tabs are different than the ones on the bottom, just to give it a little extra color, because it is kind of white. Then also you'll notice these are the same color, and I don't want that because I want to cut out my snowflakes in this glitter, which is beautiful, this beautiful white glitter. So let's go ahead and make some changes. First, let's change some colors while we're thinking about it. I'm going to change my envelope color to an altogether different color because I want it to use a patterned paper. I'm going to show you this patterned paper that I have that's sort of old but awesome. Now I want to change the snowflakes. So I'm going to change it to a silver color, because that will indicate to me that it's going to go on a separate sheet, and then I can use that glitter white. Or if you don't have glitter white, use silver. Silver looks just as good with snowflakes. Okay, and these are going to stay the same. Now these here, we're going to change the colors, but you'll notice that they are all together. All right, and what we're going to do is a little bit extra, but it's well worth it in my opinion. So let's go ahead and duplicate this image twice. So now we have 3 of the same, and we're going to take each one and we're going to come down here. I know you can't see it, but it's down here in the bottom right hand corner. It's called contour. Okay, so we're going to use contour, and we're going to take out certain grouping. So we're going to take out this bottom grouping and also the curve. That's part of the handle. So now we have this. Now we're going to take the second image and we're going to go contour again. But this time, whoops, what happened? This time we're just taking out those top flaps and also the handle. So you see, now we have these and they're separate. Now the third one, do contour again, and this one is just gonna be for the handle. So all I did was hit hide all contours, and now I have the handle. So now I have three separate three separate cutouts. Now they all have the same color, so I don't want them to cut out the same color because that was the point of doing all of that. So I'm just going to go in and I'm going to choose a different color for each one of them. This way it will come up on its own mat. All right. Now I know these colors don't necessarily match, but you'll know that, right? For the whole cutting out bit. So now we've changed all of our colors, and we're going to go and look for a little saying. So we're going to go back to images, and let's just type in welcome winter, because that's what I used for this, but you can do something else if you want. Let it snow would be a fun one for somebody who really likes snow. And we're just going to look and see what they've got. I think I picked up the most plain looking one. But let's have a look and see if we can come up with something that was kind of interesting. It is a small area, so you do need to keep that in mind. Well, look at this, says hello winter. That's kind of nice, but it is going to end up being rather big. So let me look. Hello winter. I love the cursive. Okay. Now I'm thinking about how I'm going to cut this out, and I'm thinking I'm going to either use vinyl or I'm going to use iron-on. So I'm going to choose this one here that comes up, welcome winter. That one's nice too. But this one's called Diva Watts Designs, and it's number M452E461D. Okay, let's pick that one. Now, the one I originally used, if you're looking for the one I originally used, we'd have to go in and have a look at that. Wow, that came in big. I'll come back to that, okay? So this is going to go on this flap. See this little, the green flap. So I need to make it small, super small. And then I'm thinking we probably need to have like a piece in the back. I used an oval on my original design, but you could just get a shape, like a square or rounded corner square or something like this. You could certainly do that. Or you could do an offset layer, which is up here, and you could do offset and hit apply. That would probably be something I would do. So let's go ahead and turn that white. Now I'm going to make these, I'm going to get real close to it so you can see, but it's two different colors, and I want them to be all on one thing. I want them to cut out exactly like that in the same color. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come down here at the bottom here, and I'm going to hit attach. Now by hitting attach, it will keep them both together in the same color. So here we go. There is welcome winter with an offset layer. If you didn't want to use the offset layer, you could certainly use a shape like this. But you do need to make it so that it is, I'm going to use the offset layer for this one. You do need to make it so that it's going to fit on this flap. All right, so we're going to group it and then make it slightly smaller. And let's see what flap. It's going to be the larger flap. So that gives us a little bit to work with, which is nice. So let's take this, group it. and bring it over here. It doesn't matter that we're cutting this out upside down. Doesn't matter. Okay, so here this looks pretty nice, and when you go to cut it out, this will be that welcome winter, I think, will be a different color than all the rest, which will allow me to cut it out in either what's it called, vinyl, or either vinyl or what am I? Iron on. Okay. So let's say we're ready to make this. So we hit make it, and you'll notice that it sorts everything by mat. Okay. So these are all the things that are going to get cut out in white. That's great. And these are the things that are going to get cut out in our glitter white or glitter silver, depending on what you want to use. There's our flaps that we're going to cut out in a patterned paper. Now here is our welcome winter. It's very small looking, and I want to use iron on because it's so small looking. So I'm going to go ahead and mirror this, and then I think that I'm also going to use Smart Vinyl. So Smart Vinyl is for the Maker 3 or the Explorer 3. And if I want to use Smart Vinyl, then I need to change my material load type right over here. And we have to switch it to without matte. Okay? And that will make it look different. You know, you don't have to change the rest of this. All right? And there's our envelope that's going to cut out on its own sheet. And here are all the other pieces, and then you'd hit continue. So when you got to here, you're going to cut out 8 different colors. And let's talk a little bit about colors. So, you know, I know a lot of people do things in solids, and I am all for solids, but I get, where is it? I get all the time, I get hooked in by the paper companies, and I buy a ton of paper. Now I can't find this one particular paper pack that I wanted to show you. Oh, here. So, you know, I get all of these paper packs. Here's one I got several years ago, and they'll do the same thing. This is from Michael's, and they'll do the same thing for every holiday, and they come out with slightly different papers, and I've seen that they do recycle them. But you know, when you buy one of these, you end up with some paper that you just can't use. So to me, or you just can't use with a Cricut. Okay, you have to find a little more interesting way to use them. So like there's a lot of these things. This would be excellent for if you were doing scrapbooking, but a lot of times you just, you know, they got something and it has like this on the bottom, and you might think, all right, I could cut maybe down to 7 inches or whatever. And then you end up from a usually 48 sheet paper to just a few that you haven't used yet. Look at, there are some really nice tags that if you want a fussy cut, look really cute, or you could use your trimmer and cut out these pieces, but you just can't use, now you could certainly use those, but you end up with a few sheets that if you are just exclusively cutting on your machine, you're not going to be able to cut unless you start to think outside the box or think outside the Cricut and start, you know, doing some fussy cutting here. So what I end up doing with all of these different pieces is I usually will just use them for envelopes, which is what I've done here today. But I also used a few of these just pieces that I use for the flaps. So you have to be a little creative about it. So let's pretend that we've gone ahead and we have cut everything out. So here is, this was made a couple of years ago. So these are not going to be the colors I'm working with today, but they're really cute. And then we have inside this piece that's slightly different than the box card that we did earlier last week. Okay, it's slightly different, so we're going to go over that. So let's have a look what we got. And you also are going to need probably some double stick tape, some glue, and a little bit of foam, adhesive foam. And here are my little fussy cuts that I was cutting out with, let's see, here we go, for the envelope. So let's do the envelope first. So here is a piece of it from a very old image, patterned paper pack. That I'm just going to close up. So I folded this. Now I did need to use my scoring stylus for this, or if you have a Maker 3 even, you can also use the scoring wheel. So I thought that this looked better to put the sides in and then bring this up. As Leah would say, who has young kids, it's like making a diaper, right? Folding a diaper. You do the sides first, I think. I don't remember. Oh my gosh, I don't remember. So I'm putting a little bit of glue right here. And let that set. I'm also, while I'm sitting here, I figure that I would get a little piece of double stick tape for the closure part. All right. Did I put enough glue? How come it doesn't feel like I put enough glue? So again, this was made on my machine. So let's see what, it's about 6 by 5. So it would go in a 5 by 7 inch envelope as well. So if you didn't want to make the envelope, then you don't have to pre-buy the envelopes and you're all set. Okay. And then we've got, this is for the fussy cutting. Then we've got the main pieces. So let's take those out. So these are actually the main pieces and the rest is all up to us. Okay. So you'll see here that there are score lines, not very dark, all right, but there's score lines all the way across, and then there are score lines here, 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 and then right here where the tab is. So let's go ahead and fold those. And I like a really crisp score, so I usually score it both ways. This is a mountain fold and this is a valley fold, and I score it both ways because I want it to be really crisp. Okay. Now, if you need help with the scoring, oops, look at that. My machine didn't cut this out right. You can also use something called a bone folder, or if you don't have one of those, which you can buy at the craft store. I also use this, which is my scraper for my Cricut, but just so that you get that nice fold. You can accomplish it either way. So, you know, if somebody ever comes along and tells you, no, this is the only way that you can do something, don't believe them, because you can always find a different way, right? And so, you know, they might say, well, you have to cut everything on your machine, and that's not true either. So you might want to do some, you know, some hand stamping or lettering or whatever. It's okay to mix it up a little bit. I find when I'm stamping and stuff like that, it really feels like I'm crafting. So there you go. All right, so this is going to be our main piece, and you'll see here, this is the tab. That's where we're going to close it. Once we have it closed, poop, it makes the box. And then we have these two pieces, which have score lines here. Where are my score lines? Oh, it's on this side. And I'm going to also score those. This is slightly different, as I mentioned, than the one we did with, what did we do? My scrap chick? Oh, no, I think it was SVG cuts. So we're going to make sure that we're folding on that score. That's important if we want the card to come out right. You can go ahead and just make it so when you just, if it's possible, you just make sure that as you're folding it, that it's folded and that these pieces match up, okay? It's going to make your life easier. Let me see, I've got these little pieces here that didn't cut out. This was before I changed my blade. Hey, listen, if you have a Cricut and you've never changed the blade and you've been doing, you know, some cutting on it, you might want to consider changing your blade if you run into problems such as, you know, maybe you are not having luck with it cutting out completely, like little pieces of paper or stock, or it sort of just ruins cuts like this. Even if you are using the intricate cut, it's important to change your blade periodically. It's also important just to check it, because I have been cutting out a lot of glitter because I'm getting ready to do a Anna Griffin piece card that we've done in the past. And I cut out all this glitter, and I'm like, all of a sudden, my items were not cutting out right. And it was because I had been cutting out all that glitter, and all the little glitter shed onto my blade. And so I had to just take it out, clean it off, and everything. And then everything was just as good as new. All right. I happen to cut out 2 of these. All right, so here are the pieces for the flaps. Let's see. Oh, we got these flaps. Let's do the flaps first. All right. Now you could do this after you put this together. Personally, I tend to just do it any willy-nilly. Who knows? You know, it's not rocket science, as they say. All right, so there's my flaps for this. And then these are going to be my flaps. Now, these are directional. So let's go ahead and make sure that we're going to put it on the correct way. These others, not, so it doesn't really much matter. But these are, can't have the same size. Can I? Yeah. Yeah. No. The smaller ones, Rita. The smaller ones. All right, here we go. Smaller ones. All right, so let's put these on with glue. I prefer liquid glue, but sometimes need to use different sizes, different kinds of glue, so that's my preference. This one, I didn't put the pin back in, so let's choose another one that had the pin in there. Now, if you're new to card making or just paper crafting, the one thing that I would suggest to you, there are people go all around and they go, oh, you have to have this glue or that glue. And that while there are different formulations of glue, really it's, I think, about the applicator. And so I like to use this kind of very, very precise applicator because I don't want to use a lot of glue when I'm putting stuff together. It takes longer to dry, and sometimes it makes the back paper wavy. It's because it just gets kind of like saturated with the water that's in the glue. Because, yeah, there's water in the glue. And so I try to keep it at a minimum. And if I need to come back to the glue because there's a seam that's maybe lifted, then I'll do that. Just edges are what you should be focusing on. and give it some time to dry, and then you'll be able to see if you need a little bit more. Okay, so there's our flaps like this. And now I flipped it over. We can just glue this shut if we want to. Just like that. Now on Friday, because I don't think I finished talking about that, but on Friday, a lot of people have extra time off. So what I decided to do was we'll have our regular show at 9 o'clock, but instead of doing something that is, less than an hour, we're going to do something a little more detailed. It might take us an hour and a half. So you can pop in at any time. Feel free. But we're going to be doing that. What is going on here? But we're going to do that winter cottage. And even if you don't want to make the winter cottage, come along to say hi and let us know how your Thanksgiving went and all of that lovely stuff that people like to share the day after. And we'll have a little bit of fun. And then I've already started working on next week. And I'm getting to the place where I'm like, I could probably do more, but I'm focusing too at my house on cleaning stuff up, because since February, I have been in some way incapacitated and unable to, I don't like to clean my house, but but I especially am worried about my crafting area, because that's where people come in the house through the front, and it is a mess, let me tell you. I share the space with our adorable little guinea pigs, but man, I'm piggier than they are. All right, so here is our box. Isn't that great? Now, I did notice that I didn't match this up as well as I should have. And I'm thinking maybe I should try to, I'm not sure. Let's try it. Yeah, didn't match it up right. I really want this to be all on the same plane here. And that one wasn't. So let's go ahead and try this again. All right. There we go. Okay. Now, what's left to do is the inside part. So you can see these two pieces that are inside, and then this front piece, and then our little saying. So let's get out our snowflakes. Now, this is one time that I'm going to say to you, you got to think before you put the snowflakes on, because you'll notice instead of being like three separate things, here we're going to actually like sort of make like a little snake on these. So we're going to actually start off where this tab is in the back. And of course, I have just glued this. I'll show you on this one. But okay, so this one starts with the tab being on the back, you see? And then it comes across and it folds, and that tab is over there, and this tab comes this way, facing this way. And then the last tab goes on like this, which this one is not properly aligned. So if you put all of your images, so for in this case, these two pieces are going to be fine. We'll put the snowflakes here, but then it's going to go around. So we're going to instead put the handle right there. Okay. And this always tripped me up with these designs. So just wanted to give you a heads up. And here's our snowflakes. I was hoping for some snowflakes for Thanksgiving. I'm a snowflake fiend, I think. And then here's my handle. And then let's grab our other two snowflakes for here. Is this one going to be the right size? No. No. What are you doing? What? Stop. Okay, that's going to be the right size. Now it's funny because my dogs will not go out in the rain by themselves. But if somebody's coming to walk them, they think, oh, okay, we'll go outside. I don't know. Maybe this person's protecting me from... So this morning I took them out. They were like, yeah, no, we're not going out in that. So I'm thinking, oh dear. I hope that Santo comes this morning to walk him, and he did. That's good. Mom's off to her day program, which she is. They have Thursday and Friday off, which means we get a. It's kind of funny. She needs to be now that she's in this program. It's like she needs to be entertained, like, because I think they just wait on her so much. And this is not going to fit. This is not the right size. Is this the right size? No. Huh. Okay, we'll come back to that. And then here. Yeah, so I kind of like ascertain these things, such as like in the morning she's having trouble picking out her clothes, so my sister will come over and pick out her outfit. And it's just kind of funny how the things that she would do for us when we were children, we're now doing for her as an adult. But she forgets. Like, my sister bought her some seasonal earrings, and we'd say, no, Mom, tomorrow you're going to wear the turkey earrings. And, oh, I forgot. Because she'll forget stuff very quickly. Even yesterday when I came home from, oh, by the way, had my 4th of 5 total. Let's see, is this too big? Chemo sessions on yesterday. And so she was asking me, I don't get it. These are not piling. Is it this one goes here and this one goes here? Maybe. All right. So anyway, I had my 4th of 5, and the last one is going to be on December 10th. So that went well. Hopefully it won't get me sick for the holiday. But I just take my different, preventatives before and take care of myself. Went to bed early last night and had a really nice sleep. So just taking care. I don't know how people do it, honestly. I don't know how people do it and continue to work like full time. Maybe if it was less intensive, because some of the other treatments are less intensive, but jeepers, it just knocks you for a loop. You don't even know it, but it does. And then after that, they'll check all the stuff they need to check, and hopefully I can go into remission. That's what I'm hoping for. Is a remission, or what they call NED, no evidence of disease. You see, when you have this kind of diagnosis, you don't ever get like you're cured. They don't use that word cured, because there's the likelihood, as I'm finding out, that you may get it again, higher than if you were somebody that didn't have it. This is why you hear about people like, who was it recently? Olivia Newton-John is one. There's another one that happened recently that you hear they died of breast cancer. Now, it's based on the original diagnosis and also what kind of different cells are in your body, you see. So you could die of breast cancer, but not have cancer in your breasts. That makes any sense. Okay, so here again, this is it's one strip instead of the individual pieces. So this first tab is going to go to the left. Then this is going to come over here. We're going to glue it here to the side. And then this one is going to go to the right. So just make sure that before you go to glue it, you are, this concerns me right here. I think it should be right there, because otherwise I did it wrong. It might not sit in the box correctly. Okay, so we're going to do on this tab and on this tab and then on this tab. Okay. All right. So when we put this in, let's just be a little careful about so we don't get glue everywhere. And we're going to place this first one so that it touches the back of the box. This way you know how to line it up, okay? And then put your finger there to hold steady. And then we're going to take over here. It's gonna sit, and the reason why I'm closing it a little bit just so that I can see that? I can see where it's going to land, because the whole idea of a box card is that you can fold it and mail it. And it lies flat, and then when you open it up, they get a whole scene. So this part here is a little, one of those, it's like a little nerve-wracking, and you just kind of, all right, how is this going to fit in there? Let's see. I'm going to press here and see what happens. That worked. And then here, I'm going to close this up a little tiny bit. And yeah. All right. So let's press it down just so we know it's going to catch really well. And it did. And we'll do it the other way. Just like that. And then we'll just leave it be because we have this next one to do. So I put the snowflakes on the front, and then this one is going to go this way. So this front will be glued to the inside of this, as will this. And then the last tab will go towards here, and it will actually go over that one. So let's go ahead and put some glue here. All right, and then I suppose I could do it this way. Let's see if that's going to work. All right, it's going to go here, and I guess we'll just put it here. Last bit. All right, so then we're going to sneak this in here. Again, this is the tough part. And then we're going to put that long piece right in the front so you can see how I'm doing it. And then this side piece will get connected. And then this last piece, I knew it was going to be trouble. It's trouble. I think it goes this way, but I'm going to see. Yeah, that is the way to do it. All right, so it's a little low though. Why is it low? All right. Okay. Now the last part we didn't even talk about. I decided that I wanted to add that welcome winter thing. So because it's so small, this is not sticking. I got to put a little more glue there. See that part? It's just like not sticking. Come on. All right. So the last part is this. So what I decided to do was to cut out, there's my little oval, but then I decided to cut this out in Smart Iron-On, which I did. I made an extra one because sometimes they get messed up. So let's make a few extra, and then I put my extras in my extra box. All right. I don't necessarily need to cut all this plastic, but I will. And we're going to be using, again, our Easy Press Mini, my little favorite little toy. And let's bring that over. So this is a mini. Now you could do this with, well, first of all, you don't have to do iron-on. I just find iron-on works better with like weeding and stuff when you're working with these small letters, and I find iron-on works better. So you don't have to use one of these. If you have a household iron, you can use it. But this time of year, especially Black Friday, you'll find things like this on sale. It's normally $50, but oftentimes they'll put it on sale. So we're just going to put it, I just had it on everyday iron-on. So this is what I cut out, everyday silver iron-on. So I'm going to put it on that first wavy thing, and then we'll wait for it to turn green. So let's put it over here. And then this is a pad that's specially made for the smaller Cricut Easy Press. So you can use this, or you can use a towel, but just protect your surface. So here's our paper, and yes, you can iron straight onto paper, and it works beautifully, actually. So let's get these together and see how they come out. Make sure that they're centered like that. All right. Okay. Still waiting. It usually doesn't take this long. Yikes. Oh, that's Gail. Hi, Gail. Hi, everyone. Have I missed you coming in? All right, it's turned green. So I'm just going to take this. Now, this plastic part ends up being that protective layer against the heat. So if you, for instance, have done it and then you kind of tear it off, but you notice something is still not completely ironed on, you go back, but put the little plastic on it, because you don't want to heat the actual letters. It's just protective at that point, at this point. Okay. Oops, better check it. All right, move it over. Everybody can see. Move it so everybody can see, Rita. All right, and then I'm gonna iron on. Wait till it's by the way, wait till it's cool, and then you can peel it. Look how nice that came out. So cute. People will be like, how did you do that? With my Cricut, of course. Actually, I went to a craft fair on Saturday. That was just really lovely to get out of the house. And it was at the Smith Barn, which is a very old, I didn't think about that, a very old building. It's like 125 years old. And so, of course, the floors are still kind of barn door, but they had to fix it up because they rent it out for weddings and such. And so, so they had some good floors put in there. But anyway, I went to this woman who was doing these, I forget what you call them. They're, what do you call them? Cutting boards. And she had done a scorch type of thing. And I said, did you use like the scorch marker, or, And she said, no, actually, and she told me was like some kind of ammonium chloride or something, and plus something else. And it did a really great job. And I said, well, you must have a Cricut. She goes, oh, yeah, I do. I'm like, I think great. She, oh, yeah. She goes, I have so many cartridges hanging on. So I just put some double sided adhesive foam on this side. And I'm just going to put this right here. And we are done. Done. Let's get our envelope. Is this the envelope? This is the envelope, but I didn't glue this on up very well, did I? What's going on here? All right, let's do that. And for those of you that want to know what fussy cutting is, I just thought I would show you. So this is a piece of paper that I found in a pad that I was like, I'm never going to use this. So I thought, well, I could maybe just sort of cut this out. Now they cut it out in the square, but I was like, well, I could just fussy cut. So if you hear people say you're going to fussy cut something, it means you're going to do it by hand and you're going to have to pay special attention. Now, I know a lot of you have joys, and I think the joy is a perfect tool for doing your little name address labels. And I actually do have a bunch over here that I did ahead of time, say that that I just put on there one time where I wasn't using my machine, and I just did it. And you can do either print and cut, not with the Joy, but with the Joy Extra, or you can use your other machine, do print and cut labels. Perfect for this time of year. Maybe something that we should talk about, because I know a lot of people send out cards. I received a card just yesterday from our friend Babs, and just so cute. And I said, oh, I got to bring it. But now I have all these other ones that I finally corralled, because they were in the kitchen, they were in my room, they were in the dining room. And so I'm like, I've got to get these so that everybody can see how beautiful. Now this one here, I probably would just cut right here and use as like return address. But let's get this in the envelope just so you can see. We fold it like that. Just give it a couple folds, make sure, okay, yeah, it works. And then we're just going to gently press it in. Now be careful of little things poking out, right? But you can get it all in to this envelope. And you have the double stick tape there. So you can close it. And this is a light color, so you may not need to use labels. But if you're using something dark, you might end up with that. So there you go. All right. Let's have a look. Yeah, you're not a fuzzy cutter. Yeah, it's certainly some people. Hi, Gloria. Happy Thanksgiving to you too. We'll hopefully see you on Friday. And let's see, is there anything else I need to tell you before the holiday? Just keep your eyes out if you are the kind of person you're looking for some deals, and who isn't looking for deals. But if you're looking for deals, keep your eyes out, obviously. But online, there's a lot of deals, because I think they don't like to open, and I don't blame them. You know, who wants to open their store at 3 a.m. and then have to have all those employees there? I remember doing something similar when I was in my early business days, and thinking, God, good thing I am young, that I can, get a little sleep and still function in a cold warehouse, because that's where I ended up having to do it. So God bless them for the people that can do that. All right. So thank you, everybody. We'll see you again on Friday morning. And let's just get up here in case you came in late. Friday morning, we are doing a paid file from dreaming tree. But I wanted to also point out that SVG Cuts is having a sale. That's svg.com. And that also our friend Lori Whitlock will probably have a sale. She made these really nice lighted shadow box. So if she has a sale, I think I'm gonna grab that one. Those shadow box. I hope she has a nativity. Oh, she does. She does. Oh, so that's what I would like to do, this nativity. So I'll wait until it goes on sale, hopefully on Thursday, but maybe on Friday. And then on Friday, we're doing this one called the Winter Cottage SVG. Now, this is part of a set. You might want to buy the set, saves money, $6.99. It also has this really cute cup and a very nice shadow box that I want to do, but I just haven't done. So do keep that in mind. On Friday, we will be spending a little extra time. So if you don't make it right at 9 o'clock, come and check on us because we're probably here doing this. Okay. And just, if you don't want to make it, that's okay. Just come for the camaraderie because it's a lot of fun. All right, everybody. Thank you so much. Happy Thanksgiving. Wear your stretchy pants and enjoy your families. And we will see you all. Oh, hi, Louise. How are you? Talking to us. Yeah, be well, be well. Enjoy the time. Enjoy just whether it's snowing or raining or nice and sunny. Just enjoy the time that you can be with people that you love, or even if it's just your dog. This morning, I was like, I don't want to pet you because you're wet, but I love you so much. All right, everybody, take care. If you're Canadian, happy belated Thanksgiving, and we'll see you all again on Friday. Take care. Bye bye.